Welcome back to the channel. So I have two trading ideas to share with you guys today here on this Thursday, and we're gonna dive right into it. And the first one is going to be FUTU Holdings, which is a Hong Kong company that pretty sure they're like a brokerage. They did end up reporting earnings this morning, as a matter of fact. And it's actually not quite yet a valid earnings failure, but I just want to bring it to your attention because it has what's needed for it to be an earnings failure. It had positive movement off the back of positive earnings. It beat estimates just across the board on everything. There's really very little to pick at from what we can tell numbers-wise for it to be going down, but it is going down. But it is currently up a little bit and it is volatile. So at the low points here, it's actually red on the day. Right now, it's up 2% on the day. So this is something I'll put on my watch list and see how it develops for the rest of the day. The indices, as we can see, S&P, NASDAQ, fairly weak today also. If there's going to be further weakness there, obviously, the global markets being interconnected and all, we can obviously see tech stocks in particular also continue to weaken. Maybe FUTU is one of those spots where you want to be short because it's showing weakness already off the back of great earnings. But again, don't jump the boat too quick. It's still up on the day, okay? And you could see the chart here. It's not completely devastating. It's been trending high over the years here. This year has been a rough time for it. But it's still, even the last couple of months, it's kind of slowly been building up higher. We're going to have to see how it handles today. A lot can still change, but I do want to bring this to your attention. The second one is going to be Sweetgreen. Now, this stock, on the other hand, has not done well ever since it IPO'd back in 2021. It had a mini run here was it 2 years ago, back at the lows. They did report earnings quite some time ago, actually, on August the 6th. It did have an earnings failure about, was it the fifth day or so? Traded in and out of it, actually almost negated it, but I mean, maybe a few cents below that previous close. And the last 2 days has been pretty strong. And it's been interesting where it's been strong. It's been strong in the face of red tape. All right, the overall market's been selling off now for the past few days. I think if we look here, the S&P, I mean, this is pretty much the fifth day that we're currently being red. We're going red during the cash session. Yesterday, technically, it went up, but, kind of have new lows here. So it is trading in contrast to the rest of the market, which the stock is highly shorted. I think the short interest for Sweetgreen sits at around 20% or so. Very often, though, very highly shorted names. In the very beginning, they do tend to move in contrast to the rest of the market because as you have investors that are long and short names in their portfolio, if the markets start to drop and they want to start building a cash position, they start selling their longs and start covering their shorts. And that's why you start seeing at times that the names that have been beaten up getting a bit, which is happening of Sweetgreen. So that's a thesis for why it's had better results as of late. But it could also be that, hey, for now, maybe these results here, which they were bad, that you could also just simply verify it off the fact that look at all these analyst downgrades. Okay, the analysts are even downgrading it across the board. I mean, just the earnings were horrible. But we didn't drop any lower. Okay, earnings were horrible. We gapped down, right? 8%. That's from cash to cash, but 15% to the lows of cash. But we've only gone up ever since. The risk reward here does not look awful, especially if you're wary about the markets turning around and going longer from this point on. Being in a beaten up name that seemingly is starting to balance off super bad earnings, not a bad spot to kind of hide out. The level that you'd want to play off here is 587. We are trading about 10-11% above that. It seems like the stop is pretty far. Obviously, size accordingly. It is a volatile stock. 10% seems like maybe you missed a lot of the move, but with a stock like Sweetgreen, I mean, this easily can swing to $9 in like 2 weeks or so, right? The right short squeeze comes about, the right momentum comes about. Again, a lot of these smaller names that have been beaten up, they move very, very quickly. Just size yourself down a little bit. But with that earnings failure, I mean, I feel like, yeah, it's not a bad spot to be hiding out in, especially if you're worried about what the rest of the market is doing here. As we begin to turn lower here, I think NASDAQ is looking definitely a bit more negative here. If we go to the Qs, so we don't look at that, the futures DK. Yeah, it's been a little bit rough. And here's FUTU, still kind of hanging out at green for the day, but still, worth watching it. And that's pretty much the video. So those are my 2 suggestions. If you found this video helpful, leave me a like, subscribe for more content such as this one. Till next time.